to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. I'm feeling a little bit better than I was yesterday, but just wanted to let you know I'm sorry we ended yesterday a little earlier, but by the time it was 3:30, 3:40, I was like most of the people had gone home. So it wasn't like there was anyone left to talk to. And then Be at Peace joined in just after I left, and I felt bad because I didn't get a chance to talk to Be at Peace, but hopefully he'll be on today. So let's get started. But before we do, I want to remind every single American this is really important. On November 6th, please go out and vote. If you're not a registered voter, please register to vote. This year, it's imperative that you go to the polls and you vote your conscience. I don't care if you're voting for Democrat, Republican, or Independent. You need to vote. You need to have your voice heard. And you need to speak up. Otherwise, the system, the corrupt, the craziness, and everything will think that you don't care. And when they do that, they start to do things that are not in your favor. Please understand, midterms are usually not the biggest time for voter turnout. This year it's important. You got to get out to the polls. You got to vote. Because in Connecticut, for example, we also have the governor to vote for as well. Now, the existing governor is not running, and he has a replacement in mind that wants to do the same old Democratic policies. And we need to change that. We need to make Connecticut great again. And that means that for Connecticut residents, you need to do the same thing. You're not going to just be voting to get rid of people like Richard Blumenthal or Chris Murphy. You're going to be voting to make sure that for the next 4 years that we have a governor that's going to listen to you, the American Connecticut residents, and to any other state, especially your state legislatures. It's important for you to go out to the polls and vote. And I mean that honestly. And I mean go to the polls with an honest conscience, vote fairly, as it's a responsible thing to do. And because this is a republic, and they work for you. But unfortunately, if you don't vote, well, they think you don't give a shit, and then they'll do what they want. And then you'll be screaming mad because you let them get away with it, because you voted, because the candidate that was selected was by fiat, it wasn't by your choice. So you need to stand up and voice your opinion by going to the polls and vote. Alright, so let's get started on the normal routine here. We all know how this goes. Yes, we do. So let's get started here. The computer already had its morning crash, so we should be all set. At least I would think so. Yeah, I forgot to turn on the Discord. Let me do that right now. So it's a Discord video. Okay, now we're on. So Discord's on, and the chat screen's on. And before I started, I saw on my phone that there was already 2 people waiting. More than likely, I was one of the 2. Now we got 3 people at least. Their ears are perking up slowly. I also want to talk about another thing too. I want to talk about churn. No, not the thing that you use to make butter, but I'm talking about YouTube churn. Because this is the thing that I was talking to R11830 about. And he says he finds it kind of unusual that my channel gets a lot of churn, and he's not really sure why, but he said, but if you look at it's not excessive amount of churn, but it's churn, And so the question is why is there churn? Well, I don't know. I don't really know what the people really are. I know I've done it too, where I'll sometimes will log into a channel, subscribe, get a couple of notifications, watch it for a bit, and then later unsubscribe. And I do that too. But if the commentator channel actually contacted me, which they're not likely to do, and they asked me, "Hey Michele, why did you subscribe and then later unsubscribe from my channel?" I bet the answer probably would be the same as this for a lot of people on my channel. Well, you had a couple good videos I thought were interesting, but then the videos became uninteresting, and I didn't really feel like either, your videos were what I was looking for, or since this is kind of a news political channel, I didn't totally agree with your political opinions. And as far as my opinions go, let me just be honest. They are my opinions. You have your own opinions. I respect you have your own opinions. And I just ask you to respect I have mine. And that's important. That's one of the reasons why we have the First Amendment in the United States. It's not to freely just protect my speech. It's also to freely to protect your speech, so that you can talk to me. I may not agree with you, but I respect your rights to speak up. But I will admit, I do not feel comfortable when I see people doing what several people have been doing to members of Congress, such as getting physically violent and yelling in their faces and accosting them, and that's, not cool. But I would, if I was a congressional member, I would probably be saying to my people is, number one, find out what's going on, talk to them. Number two, if you really think it's a high priority, hot button topic, bring it to me, and I will contact the people. I will talk to the people. Susan Collins was being accosted because she agreed to vote for confirmation of Brett Kavanaugh. Well, first of all, she has the right to vote for the one that she feels was the most appropriate. Okay? You shouldn't be threatening a senator. Another person threatened to dox a senator and his family because of where he stood with Brett Kavanaugh. Now, that's not what free speech means. Free speech doesn't mean threatening people or blackmailing people. And that's something that just doesn't make sense in this country. It's a real honest blessing when you can speak up and speak your piece. But when you start threatening people and you start potentially accosting them, well, that kind of goes above and beyond what the framers of our Constitution intended. That's almost a form of bullying. And that's not fair. I actually respect Susan Collins for taking a chance to speak up and explain why, after looking at the data that was presented to them in the final FBI investigation, to vote for Brett Kavanaugh. I also understand that Mrs. What's her name? Murkowski from Alaska is not going to vote for Brett Kavanaugh. I don't really know why her reasoning is, but one of the things that was a good clue was what's going on with Senator Grassley's office. He said, I have been inundated by anti-Kavanaugh protesters, and the media has been highlighting them especially. But I've also have had many Kavanaugh supporting protesters come to my office as well. He said, you want to talk about bias? Yet you only talk about the people who are protesting against Brett Kavanaugh. You're not talking about those people who are protesting for Brett Kavanaugh. And it's sad to see that, because in this country, we have to remember that we all have to live together and work together and play together and raise our children together. And that every single American has a right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, like Senator Grassley said. That's what Mr. McConnell said too. Is this our traditional policies in this country, as Mr. McConnell said, was based on the concept you're presumed innocent until proven guilty. But when the Brett Kavanaugh situation, everybody assumed he was guilty and he had to basically bust his tail to prove he was innocent. That's not how it's supposed to work in the United States. That's not the way our law is written. It's a dangerous precedent, and it's bad, and it's not right. Now, if I was a Congress member, Republican, Democrat, or whatever, given the information I'd have in front of me, I would vote for Brett Kavanaugh. Not only that, but I think that any man who can stand up to that kind of crap for 2 weeks, 2 bloody weeks, and had nothing but his family basically run through the ringer repeatedly, despite the fact, as the FBI report says, he's not guilty. He did nothing. The stories, the allegations, the accusations are totally butkus. However, there is no doubt that Mrs. Christina Blasey Ford may have indeed had been assaulted in the past. Yes, I too, in the past, have been assaulted. But here's the deal. Here's the thing. Number one, all the allegations that she had in the case of Brett Kavanaugh were not even substantiated. The witnesses that were being dragged out by her attorneys didn't even materialize any evidence. So at this point, we don't know who assaulted her. But she clearly was suffered from trauma from something. Now, Avenatti's lawyer, the lawyer of Avenatti, and his client, Swetnick, Julius Swetnick, that was a hatchet job. That wasn't even real. She has no allegations against Brett Kavanaugh. She didn't even know who Brett Kavanaugh was. Even the witnesses that she said who knew who she was didn't even know who Brett Kavanaugh was. Her story is so phony baloney, as is the story of Mrs. Ramirez. It's ridiculous. And you know what? Because I'm a sensitive person, I'm an empath, I get it. It pounds on me like being hit in the head with a baseball bat over and over again. The same story over and over again. It's taking its toll on me. And I'm not even related to Brett Kavanaugh. And that's taking its toll on my spirit. Because I'm size sensitive. I pick up the energies. Good and bad. That's one of the reasons why you notice on my channel is when I'm in a good mood, it's because the people on my channel are in a good mood. Or I'm in a bad mood because the people on my channel are in a bad mood. It doesn't mean that I don't care. Because that's the problem. I care too much. But that's, in a way, that's good. I have empathy. I understand what's going on. I may not like it. I don't like feeling it, but I know it's serious. By the way, here's another related story. Well, related in the sense of feelings, anyway. Blanche, let's see, what's her first name? Fran Blanche of Fran Lab. Her office space for her Fran Lab, the company bought the commercial space and is telling her she has 30 days to pack her stuff and leave. Even though she had a new lease and she was in good terms. Because of something called gentrification, where they want to basically renovate the building for the people who can spend more money for the shops. It's sad. She said, I've moved 17 times in 20 years. I'm 52 years old, she says, and it plain sucks. You know what, Fran? I've been there. I've been where you are. I know what you're talking about. And you're right. It does suck. Gentrification does not mean you should be throwing people out of their businesses or their homes. Even if you want to fix up a neighborhood, why don't you work with the people that are there? After all, what better people to have? Especially people who've been in their shops and your corporate spots for a couple of years now. They know what's going on. They know the neighborhoods. They know the community. Just throwing them out because you want to rent to more expensive tenants is bullshit. Now, want to talk to you also. Right now, there's no one actually watching. It's okay. It's just me. It's fine. Unless you guys can watch the reruns anyway. Doesn't that kind of suck? It does suck. Anyway. Doesn't that kind of suck? It does suck. But I think we'll be fine otherwise. It's the beginning of the show anyway. And, turn the phone on here. Forgot to turn that on. Yep. Okay. Now, I looked at the weather forecast for the next few days, and in addition, of course, so I figured might as well, right? Gotta cover all bases. It seems like now, when the show is quiet, that we have to find material, possessions. And now it's 15 degrees Celsius. It's cloudy outside. It's gonna be, well, it was supposed to be a low today of 16 degrees Celsius. Well, I don't think it's going to be that warm. It's supposed to be a high of 17. Well, given this time of day, I'd say 17 is pushing it. So let's go through the next few days here. Sunday, October 7th, scattered thunderstorms, 40% chance of precipitation, a high of 26, a low of 16. That's going to be the warmest it's going to get. Monday, October 8th, scattered showers. A 40% chance possibility, a high of 17, a low of 14. Heat should be turned on by then, I would think. And it says, Muppet Michele, hello, second half. Hi. Let's see. Cloudy for the Tuesday, October 9th. High of 23, a low of 18. Wednesday, October 10th, a high of 26. A low is 17 and partly cloudy. And it's pretty much going to be cool again after that, starting on Thursday. 60% chance of rain, 19 degrees Celsius, 15 is low. Then Friday it's going to really drop like a rock. Friday, October 12th, will be a high of 17, a low of 8. Saturday, October 13th, partly cloudy, a high of 12 and a low of 5. And just gets colder and colder from there. And the reason that is because of the grand solar minimum. If you've been watching my 2018 playlist and all the material from the Abraham Range Project and Adapt 2030, you will know what's going on. It's that simple. It's been documented. I've been telling you the facts. I've been giving you the information. The weather is going to change. It's not going to stay the same anymore. Summer's over. Autumn, well, that's here now anyway. But the crazy weather is just going to get more crazy. And that's the truth. It's just going to get colder. And so, as I said, in the Midwest of the United States right now, in the upper Midwest, it's already snowing. So get ready to freeze. And that's not because of my fault. It just is because the grand solar minimum, the Earth is going through a cooling phase. And it's nothing any particular snow steward can do by themselves to fix. But if we all work together, maybe we can kind of minimize the damage by recirculating the air that's still warm from the equatorial regions to the northern areas. but it's a cyclic pattern. We're entering in something similar to the modern minimum. And that's just the way it is, because our solar cycles and everything lines up perfectly. And no, Al Gore, it is not global warming. In fact, now the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is kind of beginning to agree. Climate change, yes. Global warming, not so much. Finally, people are beginning to wake up and realize that the situation is really not that conducive to what's going on. It's just going to be getting colder and colder. We should have prepared for this accordingly. However, at least I can say right now in the state of Connecticut, after what's happened in Massachusetts with the gas explosions, are also starting to prepare for the reality is that, number one, we need to make sure our gas system for natural gas distribution is safe. All these reports I'm talking about are documented on my Discord channel. So you can go to my Discord link in the link above. Subscribe to it if you haven't already done so. And I will repaste it again. Yeah. Michelle, you guys are the worst like pasting things. No, I don't. Oh. Okay, just go to that link right there. Click on that link, subscribe, join the Discord channel, and in general area you'll see many news stories presenting many topics from that I felt are pertinent and of importance. You are welcome to submit your own stories as well. The whole idea here is to be a clearinghouse of information that supplements this YouTube channel. It doesn't replace the YouTube channel, but it supplements the YouTube channel. Thus, you can feel like you can be a contributor as well. The old one was deleted, but the new Discord channel is being promoted now. Because the old Discord channel was a clusterfuck. It was too complicated to unfix. Actually, it was hijacked. So it was a real messed up page. So what was done was I decided to erase it, and then I started a whole new one from scratch. And because the permission settings was really screwed up, nobody knew what was going on, and so it was just easier to start fresh. And that's what we did. The only thing you didn't do is give anybody a link with the Upper Hammer Ranch project. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that later. I will give a link to the Open Hammer Ranch Discord as well, so they can find it, because they probably don't know about the change. So yes, the new Discord link are different than the others. If you went to the old links, you'll find that they no longer are valid. And I looked to find out before race what happened to the original links. The invites, they were all erased, so they wouldn't have worked anyway. So I think in some ways the Crashers should have left those alone, because if they were trying to be funny, they probably would have been more successful if they left them alone instead of erasing them, because then people probably would have discussed it or walked away. Well, need I say that's not the case. When we started fresh, I sent out new invites to all the new people. We do not have moderators on that channel anymore. One thing, it's small enough that we don't really need moderators, just as we don't need moderators on here. Very few people have been given moderation ability on this channel as well. R11H30 is one of the 2 or 3 that have moderation support. The rest of the people do not. Mr. Laugh does too, but the reason we don't want to have too many moderators is because it gets too messy otherwise. So, that's the main reason we're not doing moderators, is this channel does not produce enough content to make it practical to have moderators. It would just be too many people to chase down. You also notice that Michelle's or the Snow Queen's Private Council doesn't exist anymore. No, that's not there. I took that out anyway. There was no one using that. It's just like most of the people I talk to anyway are an email. Usually, if it's private, instead of having a group where a couple select people can sit there as a community chat room. Actually, that's a great question, Olum, about the Discord thing. I think we should send this link to Open Hammer Ranch Project. So let's later, because otherwise, you know how this computer will get all messed up if you do that. Okay. Yeah, it's true. This computer is so old, it doesn't even keep up too well when you start jumping around to different sites. And when you're doing live streaming. So right now, it's a pretty cold, clammy day outside. The time is 2:26 p.m. And, you ready to keep up with the vote? Glad you asked me about the vote on the Discord. I mean, there's a couple things I want to check out here. First of all, let's see what InfoWars has got going on here. Roger Stone, Kavanaugh lynching a paid 30 trick from Soros. No kidding. Larry claiming on the Kavanaugh fiasco, Dems on a search and destroy mission, not looking for facts. Bill Maher blames the #Me Too movement for abandoning due process. Watch live senators speak on Kavanaugh ahead of crucial nominee confirmation vote. I wonder if they can actually watch that now. Probably could. Susan Collins targeted after standing up to leftist mob stealing Kavanaugh vote, which I think was probably the worst thing that was ever done. Because these Democrats have been hitting a lot of people lately. Interesting. Alright, Hollywood explodes and Susan Collins, vile, heartless, coward, go to hell. Coward? Really? You think she's a coward? Anybody who stands up for what they believe in is not a coward. And they certainly are not vile. And they certainly are not heartless. Here's a question for the left I'd like to ask. This is the left in general. Why do you believe what you do? I mean, that's the question. Why do you believe what you do? Why do you believe so much? Let's see. This talks about this. This is some RT. Well, when we put this feed in, I can listen to this. Sure thing.
Supplemental background investigation. There are two words to note about this investigation. Supplemental.
Great idea, though.
Supplemental because Judge Kavanaugh...
No one's watching anyway, so thought we'll put this on and let them hear this, and then...
Independent, because now opponents are saying that, well, the investigation was merely checking a box. It wasn't thorough or comprehensive enough. But that simply doesn't jive with the facts. The FBI was told to investigate current credible allegations, and they had a free rein to contact anyone they wanted. And they contacted many of the people that our Democratic colleagues, Dr. Ford and Ms. Ramirez themselves, said were eyewitnesses or persons with relevant knowledge. I'm talking about folks like Mark Judge and others. So opponents are trying to have it both ways, demand an investigation, but then badmouth it when it doesn't reveal what they hoped it would. Politics should not have and didn't dictate the terms of this supplemental background investigation.
No.
The FBI knows how to do its work, and now opponents of this nomination should accept its findings. But, Mr. President, this has never been a search for the truth by senators who had already announced their opposition to this nomination, some of them even before Judge Kavanaugh was named. Rather, it has become a matter of delay, defeat,
How you doing?
and destroy. I do believe the senator from Arizona and others who joined in his request did us a great favor by insisting on the FBI supplemental background investigation. The American people can feel better that leads have been followed and exhausted for those still interested in a search for the facts. The American people now know that we took it upon ourselves to take one last step to dispel the doubts about Judge Kavanaugh's fitness to serve on the highest court in the land, and that step is now complete. So to Senators Flake, Collins, and others who requested that supplemental background investigation, I say thank you. Both Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh have been badly treated throughout this process. Dr. Ford has been treated less as a real person than as a poker chip in a card game. Her wishes for confidentiality were ignored, her letter was leaked, and her story was weaponized in a political ambush. This whole charade, sad charade, has likewise been unfair to Judge Kavanaugh. These allegations could and should have been investigated by the committee under normal procedures and timelines designed to protect both the accuser and the accused. Instead, we got mob rule. Some blame Judge Kavanaugh for his righteous indignation and impassioned defense at a second hearing. But as somebody who served for 13 years on the bench myself, I know the difference between deciding a case as a judge, for which Judge Kavanaugh's temperament has been universally praised, and defending oneself against character assassination and personal destruction. Judge Kavanaugh understands the difference, too, and I have no doubt whatsoever about his judicial temperament. But imagine what this has been like for Judge Kavanaugh's parents, for his wife, for his children, for the friends and colleagues who know the real Brett Kavanaugh. Shocking or embarrassing doesn't begin to describe it. I am disappointed, more than I can say, at those who have unleashed these unjustified attacks on the judge and his family, and disappointed in their lack of any empathy or remorse for what they have put them through. No empathy, no remorse, none. For some of them, it seems that the end justifies the means. Chew good people up, spit them out, no problem, all in a day's work. After the dust settles on this dark period, we need to think about the damage all of this has done to the Senate as an institution and to the judicial confirmation process that we most certainly will embark upon again in the near future. It is my hope, it is my prayer that the politics of personal destruction simply because you don't agree with the nominee's judicial philosophy or the president that nominated him or her will stop. The low road is not available to us anymore because there is no lower road than the one we have been on. It's my hope that some of the tactics we've seen, intimidation, bullying, violating the rules, taunting members, trying to coerce them through bribes, carpet bombing them with TV ads, sending them coat hangers in the mail, screaming at them in the hallway. These cannot become the new normal. And so we cannot reward those tactics. I guarantee that if these tactics had succeeded in blocking Judge Kavanaugh, they would become the new normal. And that ought to chasten all of us. I hope we've learned a painful lesson these last few weeks and will strive to do better. I pledge my good faith and best efforts to do so, to try to help. We should recall the not-so-distant past when Ruth Ginsburg, the former general counsel of the American Civil Liberties Union, was confirmed by a vote of 96-3, when Justice Scalia was confirmed by a vote of 98-0, and John Paul Stevens confirmed by a vote of 98-0 as well. In a rational, logical world, Judge Kavanaugh should have similarly lopsided numbers. That is, if people were willing to get past their tribalism and look at our nominee's record, look at the more than 300 opinions he's authored, the decisions he's authored that the Supreme Court has unanimously embraced. If they would look at his scholarship, talk to his former colleagues and law clerks. If opponents were willing to do that honestly and thoroughly, they would have found a brilliant individual who cuts no corners in his legal analysis, who lets the chips fall where they may, and respects the very important but limited role of the judiciary in our constitutional system. In my view, a vote against Judge Kavanaugh is an endorsement of the way the opponents have mishandled and abused the confirmation process, as well as the shameful intimidation tactics they've employed. A no vote neglects all that the man is and all that he has accomplished based on unproven accusations about adolescent conduct. It justifies the manipulation and mistreatment of people like Dr. Ford for political gain. It would establish a dangerous precedent and legitimize mob rule, including the presumption of guilt in violation of everything our Constitution.
Has restored order to the galleries. The Senator for Texas.
Mr. President, it would establish a dangerous precedent.
Suspend. As a reminder to our guests in the galleries, expressions of approval or disapproval are not permitted in the Senate galleries. The Senator for Texas.
Mr. President, it would establish a dangerous precedent and legitimize mob rule, including the presumption of guilt, in violation of everything our Constitution and fundamental notions of fairness stand for. Some say we are a nation divided, but I'm not so pessimistic as some. I actually hope we can all learn. We must learn, I believe, from this cruel, reckless, and indecent episode. But a no vote will not unite us. It will help reward despicable tactics and set a new ugly precedent. It will only encourage the spurning of tradition and the flouting of agreed-upon rules, norms, and process. We should not ignore, we cannot acquiesce in or condone what has happened here. We should send a message loud and clear that the United States Senate will not be intimidated. I will cast my vote in favor of Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation to the Supreme Court of the United States, and I hope my colleagues will join me.
The Senator will suspend until the Sergeant at Arms will restore order to the galleries. Sergeant at Arms will restore order to the galleries. The Sergeant at Arms will restore order to the galleries. As a reminder to our guests in the galleries, expressions of approval or disapproval are not permitted in the Senate galleries.
Mr. President.
The Assistant Democratic Leader.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me say at the outset that I'd like to set the record straight on the question of the FBI interview, which has been raised repeatedly by members on the other side of the aisle. It was our request from the start when we heard the complaints of Dr. Ford, her allegations, that there be a thorough FBI investigation. On the Democratic side, we asked for that repeatedly from the Republican majority. It wasn't until Senator Flake and some of his Republican colleagues made a point of saying they wouldn't move to go forward with this hearing without an FBI investigation that it finally was agreed to. Let me also add that statements have been made publicly by the public spokesman at the White House about how the witnesses were chosen for this FBI investigation. According to Mr. Shah, who works in the White House, he told us that a list of witnesses was sent by Senate Republicans to the White House, and they were included in their request. That is not the investigation we were looking for. We were hoping the FBI would revert to its professional status and to interview all of the witnesses who are relevant. Certainly among those relevant witnesses would have been Dr. Ford herself, who could have been questioned under penalty of criminal prosecution if she misled or lied to the FBI, who could have provided substantial corroborative information. She was never called on. Neither was Judge Kavanaugh by the FBI. Dr. Ford provided 8 different witnesses that she thought should be called to back up her side of the story. Not a single one of them was called by the FBI. Ms. Ramirez suggested 20 witnesses be called by the FBI on her behalf. Not one of them was called. This was not the FBI investigation which we sought, nor does it clear the charges against Judge Kavanaugh that were raised by Dr. Ford based on the fact that it was a scant interview that involved some 10 witnesses in a matter of just a few days with a limited roster of people who were going to be questioned. Let me speak to the matter at hand in a larger context. I've been in public life for a few years, but I've never seen the public reaction to this particular nomination and the hearings leading up to it that I've seen in this case. I went back to Illinois last week on Friday. Before I could get off the airplane at Midway Airport, people were talking to me, just passengers at random, about what had happened the day before when Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh testified before our committee. The same thing happened with cab drivers, the doorman at the hotel holding an umbrella in the rain and talking to me about the testimony that was given to the Judiciary Committee. For the next 3 days, everywhere I turned, every person had a comment to make. America was tuned in and watching carefully because they knew how important this hearing was. It wasn't just the nomination for someone to serve on the Supreme Court. It was critically important to Americans to know who would be that person, what their views were when it came to the health of women, the protection of our health insurance, our privacy, our right to vote. And it also was very clear that we held this hearing in the context of a national debate on sexual harassment and sexual violence. Is it any surprise that this explosive issue, which has touched corporate boardrooms, our churches, sports, Congress, has now been raised in our debate over a nomination to our highest court? And I ask my colleagues, is there a single one of us in the last 2 weeks who has not had an experience with someone coming forward, either in writing or in person, to tell you of their experience when it came to sexual harassment and sexual violence? Just a few minutes ago, I read the latest letters we've received in our office, 2 women from my state of Illinois who told me in their letters they were saying for the first time what actually had happened to them many, many years ago and how much they identified with Dr. Ford and what she had gone through. That is a fact of life. The fact that this touched a nerve to so many Americans, and particularly to women who have gone through this experience, should put this whole debate in context. It should not be cheapened or lessened by political charges. We ought to understand the gravity of this debate in light of the cultural change we are now facing in America. This afternoon, we've reached the day of reckoning. Those of us who count votes for a living know how this will end. But I want to make it clear there's something we need to remember. One of the closest votes in the history of the Supreme Court will occur this afternoon with Judge Kavanaugh's nomination. You have to go back 137 years in American history to find a closer vote for a Supreme Court justice. That tells you the seriousness with which this matter has been considered and undertaken by members of the Senate and how divided we are on this nomination. But I want to ask my colleagues not just to reflect on this afternoon, but to reflect on tomorrow. What about the future of this Supreme Court, this important, critical institution in our Constitution? 6 years ago, in the days before the NFIB versus Sebelius decision, deciding the fate of the Affordable Care Act, a Pew Research poll found that public approval of the Supreme Court had reached an all-time low. Citizens United and Bush versus Gore had branded the Supreme Court as a political tool in the eyes of most Americans. Chief Justice Roberts stepped in and wrote a decision in that case which infuriated conservatives, but brought momentary credibility to the court. Filling this critical Kennedy vacancy with Judge Kavanaugh will again raise the question about Supreme Court politics. Chief Justice Roberts, are you watching? And what can we expect from this newest member of the court, Brett Kavanaugh? After his contentious nomination process, Clarence Thomas gave us 10 years of brooding silence on the bench of the Supreme Court. What can we expect from this new justice? Will he be the soup kitchen volunteer or the Federalist Society favorite? Will he be the man who raged at the Clintons and promised revenge for his ordeal, or the judge who impressed Senator Collins as more moderate than most of us on this side of the aisle ever found him? Will he be a justice forever grateful to President Trump who nominated him, or a justice who honors the rule of law more than any political leader or political party? And what about this Senate? What should the next Supreme Court vacancy look like? Will we continue to follow the Merrick Garland, plow it through playbook of judicial appointments at any cost, freezing out a nominee to the Supreme Court for almost 1 year, abandoning the blue slip process in the Senate Judiciary Committee, ignoring American Bar Association ratings, overturning rules protecting debate, concealing documents, tweeting confidential reports? When we sweep aside all the rules and traditions of the Senate Judiciary Committee just to pile up more and more Republican appointments to the court, what is left? Thomas More, in A Man for All Seasons, said famously, quote, "And when the last law was down and the devil turned round on you, where would you hide, the laws all being flat? And if you cut them down, do you really think you would stand upright in the winds that would blow then?" So will we establish and reestablish rules and procedures that show mutual respect for one another as senators and respect for this body we are honored to serve? I sincerely hope that conversation begins, and begins soon. I want to say a word about the leaders of the Judiciary Committee. Chuck Grassley is my friend. He's been my friend for a long time. We do a lot of legislation together. We have a difference in political views. He's a loyal Republican. I'm a loyal Democrat. We have adjoining states, and we find some things that we can work on in common. I want to say personally to him, thank you for your leadership on this committee. I think there are moments when the White House and even your staff got the best of you, but I trust you, Chuck Grassley, in terms of where this committee's going. You have it within your power to restore the traditions of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and I hope that you will. I'll join you in that effort. I want to say a word about Dianne Feinstein, too. She's been the subject of more attacks by my colleagues than I've ever heard any member face in the Senate. It's just not fair. Dianne Feinstein is a woman of integrity. She is a person who is caring, and she has given a major part of her life in public service at so many different levels. Some of the charges and innuendo, which I've heard on the floor of the Senate, are unbefitting this body, and she does not deserve them. I thank Senator Collins yesterday for specifically saying that in her remarks. I couldn't be more happy than to join her in those comments. And I want to say a word about protesting and mob rule. I will tell you that if you believe in freedom of speech and our right as a citizen to petition our government, then you accept some tough consequences. There are things that are said and done in the name of free speech which you may not agree with. Violence is never acceptable. Let me make that clear. But the decision that's about to be made in the United States is not being made by a mob. It is not mob rule. It is a decision made by men and women of the United States Senate who are acting in accordance with the United States Constitution. And one last point on the subject. This is one that I always remind my colleagues and even my opponents of. I believe the hottest ring in hell is reserved for those who attack our children and our families. If you want to take me out on an issue, so be it. Leave my family and my kids alone. That ought to be a rule on both sides of the aisle. There's another issue which we need to face squarely. Will victims of sexual violence be more or less likely to step forward and tell their stories after this high-profile political battle ends? To Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, to her husband and her children, I'll never forget your brave testimony last Thursday. You gave new meaning to the term civic duty. You spoke not just for yourself, but for millions of sexual violence victims who will never, ever have that opportunity. I'm sorry, genuinely sorry, for the pain that you and your family have endured. And I'm sorry you were mocked by President Trump at his rally in Mississippi last Tuesday. The Washington Post reported, and I quote, "The president laid into Ford with the ruthlessness of an attack dog and the pacing of a stand-up comedian. The crowd roared with laughter."
Okay, that's enough for right now. That was some of the Senate pre-vote comments. The last speaker was a Democrat, and he was equally appalled by what was going on, especially with the #Me Too movement. He agreed that whatever happened to to Christine Blasey Ford was real, but it was not by Brett Kavanaugh. I started the show earlier, and I explained that I've also have been, unfortunately, part of sexual assault in the past, so I understand what's going on in her mind. But she was put up to thinking that it was Brett Kavanaugh who did it to her, and it wasn't. As the FBI report said, that he was not anywhere near her. He didn't even know who she was, actually. Very, very sad to think that this country has gone to a Roman style of law. They're saying you're guilty until you can prove you're innocent, which is utter, pardon my French, bullshit. So, let's just make sure to pause this. Yeah, my goodness, you were going to play that whole thing? No, I'm not going to play the whole thing. I was into the end of it anyway, thank God. That was like 5 hours of testimony. There was no way I was going to play a full 5 hours of testimony. Yeah, I'm sure Irish Ginger Marie can get a couple Z's out of that one. But the situation... Yeah, I do too. Mr. Laugh, you're not the only one who gets sick and tired of hearing about this stuff over and over again. It gets old. And it's, it's just, they think sensationalizing stories can help sell more newspapers. But the truth is that only works for a little while before everybody just kind of basically puts the newspaper down or change the channel on the TV and go watch something like Monster Truck Rally or something. Yeah, I know. That was live too. Yeah. But, hates the roast friend, but this has to become... Hates to roast friend, but it has to because he did an asterisk change. What? What does that mean, Cringe Report? So anyway, one of the most important things that all Americans need to do on November 6th is get out to the polls and vote your conscience. And that's important. You need to vote for the one you really think can do the right job. If it's a Democrat, it's a Democrat. If it's a Republican, it's a Republican. If it's non-affiliated, it's non-affiliated. But you need to get out in the polls and you got to vote. And you got to send a message to both the Senate, the Congress, and yes, to gubernatorial races, including the one in Connecticut, that you don't like what's going on. Now, some of you don't really want me to talk too much about Connecticut politics, but I've got to bring one piece of Connecticut politics up. This year is a good chance that we may very well be legalizing marijuana very soon in the state of Connecticut for recreational use. And it's very important, if you believe in recreational marijuana, that you vote in support of it. It's important for the state of Connecticut to also finally get its head out of its collective ass and do the right thing and other things, such as tax reform, and finding ways to encourage businesses to come back into the state of Connecticut to give them Connecticut residents, people, jobs. And what about me? Cringe report. You didn't even say hi to me. I think he... Well, you don't vote, you're going to lose by fiat. So, that means that basically... Of course, it is sad when your team loses anyway, but if your team wins, it's always helpful. Yeah, it's James tonight on Cringe Report. And, obviously we'll be there. We gotta make sure that we don't have any more of those situations that got you banned for 90 days. Let's see what else is going on in the news. Anything fun? Yeah, you got 5 watchers right now. Yeah, I guess that counts as news. You're pissed at me? Why would you be pissed at me? Okay. Some reason to be pissed at me. Alright, let's see. What's going on here? Anything exciting on Fox News? I want to take a quick look here. Abandoned puppy found wandering the streets with a heartbreaking note. This is an interesting little note. It says, Michigan puppy abandoned found wandering with note, please find home. He says, looks a little bit like our Levin's dog. 1 month old Michigan puppy named Ghost is looking for a new home for Halloween as the dog was found abandoned with a heartbreaking note attached on her neck. My owner had a stroke and cannot care for me. Please find home. On October 3rd, animal rescue group LUV Pups Z, Love Pup Z, shared the story of the female coonhound who is found wandering alone on the streets of Kent County, hungry, cold, sad, and confused, to Facebook. Click on Detroit.com reports. The note said, I am lost and looking for a new home. My owner had a stroke and cannot take care of me. Please don't take me to a shelter. I am a purebred coonhound, 6 months old. Please find me a home. The emotional note found attached to her collar reads, photos of Ghost and the heartbreaking plea have since gone viral on social platform with over 1,120 shares. Wow, that's sad. Hopefully somebody finds a good home. Alright, so what it says, it's nothing bad, just Michele can really we be live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's the reason I told you that Cringe Report that those late night shows don't really always do well for people, especially outside of the United States. It's really hard when you have guests in multiple countries because you gotta find something that works for everybody. I mentioned that to many people. Well, you shouldn't be anyway pissed at me. I didn't do anything wrong. Let Mr. Laugh know we're live on my channel tonight. You just did, because he's here. Unless Mr. Laugh doesn't actually read his comments. Does he? I don't know. Okay. Cringe Report said the show will be on Cringe. Okay. Where'd you blocked each other? Well, actually, he can see your stuff if he's actually reading the screen because, I mirror the chats on the screen so that if he's got good eyesight or a large enough screen, he can see the comments. Because they always show up on the screen here. That's one of the reasons I do that, just in case, so that people can see what's going on and have a little bit of a backstory behind everything in case people block other people out. So, of course, what does make some people annoyed is when Michele, like she's going to do right now, rewind a little bit. Just Michele can really friggin' blow my mind. Really? Okay, so anyway, another story was on the same news site. As a family moved and the cat found a new home about a year later. Speaking of cats, I gotta let my cats in. Let's see. I know Rusty's inside. I know Dusty's outside. I know Fame's outside. Well, that's the reason it's a good tool. I see. A face palm kind of thing with two tearful expressions on the screen. Speaking of cats, let me go see if Dusty and Fame would come in. So outside, because they're outside right now. Let me go see if they're gonna come in. Be right back. Rusty's in. Let me see if... Of course, Rusty's laying next to the heater. Ugh. Fame went outside. He didn't come back yet. And he's down in the hallway. I checked there. So, all this stuff that's happening on her lesson is Jane wonder why. It must be random that she spoke of. Jin Critical Unity will be back on. We'll be recapping for the most part. One of the biggest problems with Critical Unity, I noticed, on his own shows, is his presentation of his content is a little bit extensively long. But, well, that's the way he likes to do it. Not that I haven't rambled on a long time myself a couple times. So, obviously, I missed some of the chat comments when I was calling my cat. Well, anyway, not as much anymore anyway. In fact, most of my videos I've ever actually done, most of them run for about an hour anyway. I think the theme was, like, Rich asked me to look up the case of the, oh, there's Fame. He's in the house. Oh, that's good. So all three guys inside. You gonna lay next to the electric fire, too? Because they got big old rust ball is laying right next to the electric fire right now. Hmm? Yeah. Come here. Come on. Nope, just not. Anyway, so tonight, our 11H30 asked me to check out the Amber Rose Slut Walk. I looked into what the Amber Rose Slut Walk was from a few YouTube videos. And I got my opinion on it. I can bet money the liberals probably are not going to be too impressed. What about me? Do you realize that out on the wire, most everything you said in the order you said it is actually implies a human emotion? Or a verb? Or adverbial? Cringe, licks, ginge, and laugh. Actually, no, we didn't even finish. We didn't even start the conversation. And by the way, the word finish you're looking for is one and not two. Good report says it's got to get going. Okay. Yeah, well, speaking of Allison Thomas, the first question is if Critical Unity is on, we could have covered a couple things that I wanted to talk with Critical Unity about on the news side of things. Oh yes, I do. I say hi to you often. out on the wire. Come on, don't give me that excuse. You know I said hi to you. And then you go off on these little other tangents. So anyway, is it critical you didn't know that we're live? Does he actually follow your channel? That's something we talked about at the beginning of the show was churn. My subscriber base is constantly churning and churning and churning like butter and sweet creams. Yeah, I remember when Democrats drew nudes at Orly touts. Are the phones on? Yes, they are. They're on. They've been on the whole time. I don't know. Now they're on. Okay. Yeah, they're on. I just hit the volume turned down. So. I made this coffee homemade. Unfortunately, I made it extra strong. Ugh. Let's see. What did you want to discuss about Allison Thomas? Well, first of all, is how we were talking originally about, how she got into evangelizing, and the question is how do we know if what she's saying is necessarily? Why does every evangelist I ever talk to seem to have a different view of the same topic? If that makes any sense. And we talked about sola scripture a couple days ago about I don't want to bore my audience because I know that so many of my audience are not into religious doctrine. So, but you know as well as I do that what's going on with that, it's all basically make believe, right? You know that, right? It's not real, right? Yeah, it's just a big game. Don't worry about it, guys. Bless the Bethlehems. Anyway, so the point is that with Allison Thomas is, like I said, is how does a person determine if someone, and this is a question that's kind of related to something else, but I'm going to try to keep it generic. No, but that's not what Michele meant, but what she was trying to say here it's like, how can you prove that a person is an evangelical of saying truth or not truth? Yeah, she has the fruits. But did you ever notice that it seems like she's not the only one who has an opinion or statement on this, whatever it may be? I mean, I see so many people talk about some of the same stuff that she talks about, and they seem to have a slightly different view on it. That's what I'm saying. For so many people, it's confusing. He's talking about Allison Thomas, a lady on YouTube who has had a very strong encounter with the Holy Spirit. Right. Well, first of all, I have my opinion about that Clinch report And that's all I can tell you. And that's where things get scary. After all, I don't see the equivalent of the 302 sorority. Well, they don't have the same code letters on the other side as they do here, which the United States code would be FD 302s. Where is the, I guess, the spiritual or S302s? I mean, you're talking about something that would actually need to be in writing. Right. Well, that's what I mean. Is a lot of stuff that we hear is opinion. I mean, so I don't know. You try to be honest. You try to get facts, and that when it comes to spirituality, it ends up becoming an opinion. In the case of what Out on the Wire is up to, I need to see the S302s. After all, there is no Spiritual Bureau of Investigation. Actually, there is. There is. That's right. That would be the council, the High Council, which is overseen by Malachi. Uh-oh, cat's here. Let's cover the keyboard before he steps on it. Presses buttons. Yeah, don't push my buttons, cat. What do you think of Rebecca Marina Messenger? I think a lot of stuff she says is really interesting. I don't understand everything she talks about. A couple of her topics she's covered, I don't really understand like how it. Some of the stuff she talks about has to do with making money and about sexual performance, but that stuff I don't really quite get. But the other stuff, okay, Kat, you want to upstage me, huh? We want to upstage you. We want to upstage you. I am a Fennec Deposition Authority, and my quest for truth you should give. I am. Where's the S302s? That's keeping a professional. Where's the S302s? I think she's a little more down to earth. Yeah, I will give you that. Because first of all, with Anita, she's kind of like, I don't know. It's just the way that she presents information. It's almost like she has a way of almost brazenly saying, "I know what's good for you." Yeah, so do I. But it's not necessarily sitting out there and thumping a Bible and preaching at people as much. Hair does have power from God. In fact, several people have said the same thing. If you talk, because hair is the way it acts as a spiritual antenna to the energies. Although that doesn't make a lot of sense to people when they realize but Michele, hair is not conductive. Yeah, it is. It is somewhat conductive, believe it or not. What are you doing, cat? That's why hair clings to everything. Ask this cat. What? All right. Yeah, right. Nose me up. You're taking over my entire table here. Indian is also very money hungry. Well, she's got to support her family and her ministry. That's where. Yeah, I've seen that enough times be a piece where people judge people from their past. That's one of the reasons why I get so frustrated when I was reading about the Brett Kavanaugh thing. And by the way, one of the things that Donald Trump said to young men and young women is what I'm going to tell you right now from personal experience. Please do not live like you're gonna get away with bad stuff, okay? Because you will regret it in the future. Do your best to live a good life. I understand people have hard times with alcohol and cigarettes and drugs. I don't have a problem with that. But I understand, especially as Natasha 76D said the same thing, is that thanks to social media, everything that you do will come up to bite you in the ass 35 years later. If you live a good life and do your best, the Holy Spirit, the angels, and the saints will be on your side. You act like a problem, you do something bad, and it's gonna haunt you. So it's best to be a good example for others. Oh yeah, I don't think that's unusual. I mean, living golden, let's put it this way. 30 years ago, I wasn't even the same person I am now. I didn't have the experience. He was in high school. I mean, my personality 30 years ago, let's see, what was that, 1988. Okay, I was just graduated from high school, okay? And I was different. Okay, I thought I was a little bit too cocksure for myself. I thought I knew all the answers to all the problems. But, of course, as I grew up and I become more tempered and more experienced with the real world, I realized I wasn't quite as smart as I thought I was. And that's why I made an effort to change for the better. But the little spoiled brat in me still likes to come out kicking and screaming. And boy, when that little spoiled brat comes up kicking and screaming, I gotta give her a timeout. Like, whoa, I don't need to go there. Come on, little Michele, back up, okay? I mean, that's where we do change. And trust me, 30 years, you're gonna change a lot. They say that your body replaces parts of itself every 7 years. Well, of course, as you get older, you look back at your childhood and you go, "Damn, why did I do that? What was I thinking?" And then you kind of shake your head and go, "I don't remember." But it must have been some stupid reason. B.B. said her son visited her family 13 years later as a ghost. Okay. Your personality 2 years ago was you ranting on how your viewers need to send you money because this is not free. Well, it's not free. In fact, I could still use help now and then, but you want to talk about the really biggest people who should be screaming about it not being free is actually Google itself. That's why they're trying to turn YouTube into a money-making venture. Because since they bought YouTube has always been a loss for them. And they're just starting to turn a profit. And it is a lot of work to do these shows. And it's even more work to store all the shows on some server somewhere out in on some computer network. Classic. Okay, can you get down? Alright. Oh, I know. Don't knock over my coffee cup, okay? Let's see, I don't forget it was only a few live shows ago when Michele said she wants better viewers. Better viewers make better content. MicheleDalene. She says, be at peace. I want to get some of the other be at peace before he starts complaining. Her son visited her family 13 years ago. She also had a video where Satan damned as tall as a black suit man in her bed and then tried to kill her. please don't forget it was only a few live shows ago when Michele said she wants better viewers. Alexa Mesk says classic. Living Golden says OTW true. Living Golden says no, better channels make better content. Well, let's put it this way. My channel isn't the same as it was a couple years ago. There has been some changes in format over the years. 2 years ago, actually started around 2014, I began the process of working on that. It took me a long time to get to where I am now for a lot of reasons. Some of it was hardware, but most of it was software up here. Firmware, operating procedures changed. You look, took the words right out of my mouth, Living. It says, by the way, here's a tool, here's a fact. One of the things that people, especially in this day and age, tend to forget. These channels are a labor of love. And they are. And they are always going to be a labor of love. Because no matter what, business or not, you got to get up every day. You got to put your best foot forward. Even if you feel like crap. You have to basically, be the kind of people that people would want to come and watch your content of. It's just like if you run a small mom and pop store, right? You don't want to sit there, go into the store, and act like a grumpy old bear. If you do that, you're going to lose your customers, and then after a while, when you start losing all your sales, you're going to lose all your business, and then you're going to lose your store. So it's the same thing, okay? Sometimes you have to sit there and you got to try to paint a smile on your face, even if really you really want to scream at the top of your lungs about how things are so unfair. You try not to, because unless you want to create that kind of a channel, the people are not going to want to watch it. I watched one channel that was like that. And the first thing is I saw a little bit of me in this guy's channel and in the past, but I was like, I said to myself, thank you, Lord Jesus, I have evolved past that channel kind of design. And my content is improved a bit. It's not perfect, but it's improved a bit. Understandable. I know a lot of people that have those issues. Well, Mississippi, by the way, is a state that has some significant issues. Well, let me ask you a question, be at peace. I'm not trying to start a war, but would you consider me to be truth, or me to be, true in the sense that she is, or do you think that I'm a little bit off base, or do you think that what I'm talking about doesn't make any sense at all? You want to talk about another person on welfare? Living Golden? I sent you a link to this other guy's channel. I didn't have your email, but I'm serious. I know another channel where you might seriously love it. It is called Dragon Lord Frodo TV. Dragon Lord Frodo TV. If you want to see another person who is in the system but is trying to get off the system and who likes to sit around constantly stuffing his face while he's sitting there and around in his skivvies, and you can see his big hairy legs. I mean, he's got nice legs, but they're, and he takes his live streams would drag on for hours. Because of some violations on his content creation, his live streams have been suspended for 90 days. No, you are true too, just you cover many topics and do a way more, which is good. Thanks. Well, I do cover a lot more spiritual than Michele does, but my channel is not a big channel. No, your channel isn't. I haven't really promoted Lumi's channel much. Retired from what? What's he retired from? Always will come on the Cringe Report. Check out Dragon Lord Frodo TV. Out on the wire. You can check him out too. He's kind of interesting. And Living Golden YouTube. Check out Dragon Lord Frodo TV. He's interesting. He does get a few interesting things to say. I'm not going to say anything bad about the guy. It's just to say that his format is a little bit cringeworthy. Cringe Report, you might be interested in him too for that reason. Actually, you're the one who told me about his channel. So check out his channel again, guys, and it's kind of interesting. But she stays okay. She stays basic. Allison's the type of person who doesn't want to talk about politics and talk too much. Only his is so gross. Oh, I know. Well, that's just the way he likes to present himself. That's one of the reasons why I said when he was whining that they wouldn't let him live stream. I said to myself, why doesn't it go to Pornhub? Then he can, on a regular basis. Except I don't think Pornhub does live streams. I think every part of the body of Christ has a different and special role. Yeah, okay. But I wouldn't know what all the roles are. So I'll be honest when I say that. After all, Christ was a Paschal lamb, unblemished. Yeah, I know, they're very different, but, if you look at what's been going on lately, a lot of conservatives have been going through Pornhub lately, because YouTube won't let them present, things like gun videos or, anything like that. So, you can go to Pornhub, you can shoot your rounds, both the kind from your body and the kind from your firearm. That's kind of creepy. Today I'm going to show you my nice M16. Oh, I'm going to show you my 16-inch dick too! Ah, we're going to blow wads at the same time. Jeez. They're very different, but it's funny that the gun people gone to Pornhub. It's really true. I don't know why. Now I get to shoot 2 wads at the same time. Oh, yes, there is. Oh, yes, there is. The big time. That's the truth. Michelle's right. The Pornhub has got a whole political section. They're actually thinking about subdividing it into those 2 areas specifically for that reason. Because after YouTube started throwing off a lot of the right, a lot of them went to Pornhub because it had the ability to distribute their videos and the content. That's true. I have no idea. That's a good question. I suppose it would represent that he wants, us to be fruitful and multiply, but that was a commandment from his father, Yahweh. To be fruitful and multiply and be stewards of the earth. Not really. I've landed on a few of them. There was quite a few ones. I check out some of the lesbian porn now and then. I've checked out a few other sites that definitely were a bit much more harder porn than Pornhub. Oh, yeah. You also forget YouRube. www.yourube.com. That's another one I found quite by mistake. That's not so true, Michelle. Link at one stream on a political ranting. Well, like I said, I usually watch a little bit of lesbian stuff most of the time. So, yeah. Hey, I'm of age. Okay. I certainly am an adult. And if I choose to watch a little bit of porn now and then, that's fine with me. I have the right to watch what I want. And, and that's my choice. Just as you can watch shows on whatever foot fetish channels. I don't know what channels do foot fetishes, but there's a lot of interesting content out there if you really want to go digging for it. TMI? What does that mean? TMI. Oh, by the way, speaking of TM and as in TMZ, Kanye West told the reporter straight out on TMZ, he said, I am not going to remove my Donald Trump hat during this interview. He says, I have a right to wear my hat. And of course the guy says, yeah, you know what it stands for? He said, I know what it stands for. And it's my right. It's the First Amendment. I have a right to wear this hat if I choose to wear this hat. Just as you have a right to complain that you don't like my hat. Yeah, well, that's fine. Live in Golden. Go over to Dragon Lord Frodo TV's channel. I'm eating lunch, rice, and yogurt. That doesn't sound like a good combination. Oh, God, no. Cringy, there's one for you. Rice and yogurt. Ugh. It sounds like the rice grit that we use in Norway dessert. But that contains a sweet cream. That doesn't contain yogurt, though. It's just sometimes, not so much her, but it's just the way she talks about some things. It's like, it's the way she presents the information that makes me a little uncomfortable. It's like, I'm not sure, if she's talking to me or with me or at me. That's what I mean by that. Well, that's why you should mention the strawberries, because with a Norwegian dessert called recieve, that's exactly what you do. Usually it's rice. It's like a rice pudding, and then usually put a strawberry sauce or cherry sauce on it, and it's really good. I tend to like it plain because I like the texture and the thickness. It's really good, but I mean, it's very fattening though. Another thing that's kind of cool is a potato ball, which is a Norwegian food called kumpa. I never could pronounce it correctly as a kid. It's actually pronounced kumpe, 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 and it's usually contains a ham. It's screensaver. Usually contains a ham inside, at least in the American version. Although you can get it with fish as well. Okay, that'd be appreciated. I would never try Irish food. I'd like to see what it tastes like. Futanari. What's that? Okay. Bulgarian yogurt is apparently the most unique yogurt no other country has. Well, what makes it unique? Because I've had Greek yogurt. Yeah, I could Google it, I'm sure. What? That's electronic stuff. They can't put the coffee over there. The cat's sitting there. I'd rather have the coffee over there and spill on the cat than have it spill on your mixer. Leave it over here in the center of the table. So my keyboard's at risk. I'd rather have the keyboard be at risk. You got about 15 of them in the storage bin. True. I don't want to get any liquid in my mixer. That was embarrassing when I accidentally spilled something in the mixer. I was surprised that Behringer fixed it for free. They did, which was nice. That was about a year ago, as Ruben would ever could attest to. And it's been fine ever since. So, how many people are still watching? I have no idea. Right now we got BPs on. We have Elixir masks on. I know. 7 of them. Got a lot of people in the background watching with not really doing much, but that's okay. Watch this. Watch this. I love the delay echo on videos. That's kind of cool. It does that. You can actually get a delay. Yeah. Yeah. LOL, 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 LOL. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. As I said, I've never tried it, so I have no idea what it tastes like. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. As I said, I've never tried it, so I have no idea what it tastes like. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. As I said, I've never tried it, so I have no idea what it tastes like. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. As I said, I've never tried it, so I have no idea what it tastes like. Okay. Well, that'll be interesting. Michele, talk about it. I never been that. It tastes totally different than any other yogurt. Apparently, ranked the best yogurt in the world. I say it's like this because I've never really had the untested. Faye, what are you doing? Besides crawling over in places I don't want you to go. What are you? Get away from my mixer. Come on. Okay. I could think of even more effed up things, what mostly trying to get Michele to look and talk about. What was mostly Jut? Jut? I think it's, okay, Michele talked about, I think it's because of the bacteria only found in the mountains where they make it. It's healthy bacteria. Michele cartoon porn. Yeah, but yogurt is actually. Could they be using goat's milk in it too? Because I don't, or maybe even water buffalo, which is being used to make original Italian mozzarella cheese. They use water buffalo. They don't use cow's milk. I don't know. Maybe it's a different type of, milk source they use. Yeah, I don't know anything about your topography to determine if your mountains are taller or not, but I know that Greece has got a dividing line between Greece and Albania, which is mountainous. That keeps the two countries kind of separate. Gingery Gin, I missed the D part. My husband asked me when I was watching. LOL, it's hilarious. Yeah, I do know about the. I don't know much about the gypsy culture of Bulgaria. I know that there are some American type gypsies as well. Basically the vagabonds. They're actually not gypsies, but they're, in the case of America, they're just men and women families that just travel by motorhome around. You know, instead of living in a house on a foundation, they live in a house on wheels. You see that, especially with the tiny house movement as well. That people are living in these little houses that they pull behind their trucks. Why, Chin, is that your genre? I would date would date a chick with a D. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. But you know, one of the things people ask me is that why is it that no, Thomas Peak is Musala, path to God, stands 3,000 meters tallest at the surrounding countries, even Greece. Irish gypsies are the worst. They are called tinkers here. I heard of the tinkers. They're really not that bad. When you realize what the tinkers originally were doing, they would be the people that would go out there and do things for housewives, like fix pots and sharpen their knives and kitchenware. I mean, they weren't really bad people. We got people like that here in the United States. They do the same type of work. They travel around, offering services for, you know, like fixing things. But when you think of tinkering, we usually think of somebody who basically just tries to make a good thing even better by modifying things. But, well, doesn't always succeed at making anything better. They just tend to make it more complicated. Some would say the worst kind of people are the thinkers. Yeah, the thinkers. That would be me. Those who think a lot. Even though realistically we're not really that bad. We just like to think you under the table, that's how. Your keyboard's not broken. You just get. Actually, like I said, I have a whole closet full of keyboards. Retract my statement, Jen. LOL, none of my business. Well, anyway, the biggest thing I think right now is that we have already got smoking revelations that well, I see most of your letters on your phone now. Yeah, my phone does that sometimes where the characters don't seem to work. That's where you have to basically just reboot your phone. Usually that fixes the problem. It's the software in the phone that does the scanning. I wouldn't argue it happened after a night at the bar, Ginge. Please don't get any ideas, Michelle. I'm not really interested anyway. No. You gonna make more coffee cup? And, yeah, a little bit. say some Bulgarians are quite brown, especially gypsies. I would say we're half and half. Oh, you're in an area where it can be kind of warm and temperate environment. Our common state is black. What is that? What's up? Prime Minister. Oh, Prime Minister. Prime Minister. I don't really think skin color really matters anyway. If you look at some Italians, especially the ones from the southern Italy, they're like darker skin than the ones from the northern hemisphere or northern part of Italy. My family is, as I said, is both mix of Tuscan Italian and Norwegian. So, yeah, you know what? If you ever look at a typical Tuscan Italian, most of them are actually usually lighter skin, unless they're the ones that have been working out in the fields heavily. Because Florence is also a major food growing area of Italy. I'm gonna go get a refill. You keep asking me that. I'm not even finished with this cup yet. This coffee is strong. Wow. Let's kind of start to put coffee on our hair in your head. Okay. Yeah. It's 3:52. Alright, well, let me go ahead and let's see. I think I can wait until after the show before I get a refill. It's not a big deal. The soup kitchen will not be open Monday. No less. What? No less action. I wouldn't even know anything. What count as less action? Like sore. What are you talking about? Just at the end of Europe. What? Yeah. Oh. Snow. Yeah, it's Africa. It's across the Mediterranean, I think. But mountains keep it cool in winter. But in April, you can swim in the sea. Oh, I don't know how my hair would do with salt water. I wouldn't even want to find out. She still has. Who are you talking about? Oh, screensaver. LOL, she still has a penis. Just looks like a broad. Might be more weird on my part. I think they're talking about you and me. I don't know. It's not very salty. I don't know. When I was a kid, my family lived in an apartment that had an above ground pool, and my hair wasn't bleached then, but at the end of the summer it was bleached quite a bit. So, no, it doesn't. You're right. Macedonia does not have access to the ocean. Now, if they ever decide to rejoin Greece, they would have access to the ocean. Sort of. Sort of. Because most people don't realize that Macedonia and Greece are actually one time part of one big group. Yeah, that's true. But I don't really know much about, you know, everything about these areas. Okay, we have 8 million people. Now, let me ask you a question, be at peace, because I'm trying to understand this from about my landlord. Now, he's from Macedonia, okay? Now, I know that this is not necessarily exclusive to Macedonia, and I've heard people say the same thing about Greek men too. Is that they tend, because of the culture, they tend to like to work mostly with men. They usually kind of like don't see women as their equals. Like every time I have to talk things to my landlord, he's like, yeah, okay. I can go out there and I can talk to the maintenance guy, which you heard and saw in the video last time, Ray, and he talks to him, and of course he has higher respect than I do, and he's just a maintenance guy. That's not even a paid position, and yet he's got more leverage with my landlord than I do. Is that specifically only because of the religious background, or is there a social reason too? I think a lot of countries can be. Even in the United States, there are places in the United States that seem to have a hard time, you know, getting with the times. I'm talking about culturally, not so much technologically. Although there are places in the United States that even technologically are behind the times too. Yes, the phones have been on the whole time. Cat, you're laying on my equipment. Okay, come on. Yeah. Oh, hold on a minute. Yeah, you can lay over there. I'll move my empty coffee cup. It's no big deal. It's empty now. Ugh. Um. Yeah, but Macedonia originally had communism too. I don't think it's so much the communism that makes it a difference, because they're both for communist countries. I mean, Macedonia was part of Yugoslavia, so originally the former Yugoslavia. So I don't know if that's specifically if I think Bulgaria wasn't part of Yugoslavia. Uh, all right. And speaking of that, as part of Yugoslavia, you had religions. Yeah, well, so does Bulgaria. Bulgaria has a religion, unless you're saying is that for people of Macedonia, the religious was a major part of their life. Okay. Oh, I know. I was just trying to double check. I had to look it up in my mental map of the Eastern Europe to remember where Bulgaria was. So the question is, though, with Macedonia, is okay. I know that you guys, for the most part, don't really like each other too much politically, but do you think um, that Macedonia will ever change? Well, my picture is so bad because this is basically just barely getting squeezed into the video. It's just a tiny little. My picture is so bad because this is basically just squeezed in the video. Barely getting squeezed into the video. It's just a tiny little. And the resolution is, yeah. Let me see if I can kind of fix it. Although there's really not much you can do about it. It's just. Let me see if I can change this here. Okay. Turn that off if that just distracts you. Yeah, I'll just turn that off. It's just the way the camera is. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Well, I can't do much about it. You could always try resetting the hardware and see if it does anything. Not now, though. Oh, I see what you're saying in the pictures and the pixelation. Yeah. I don't know why it does that. Let's see. Let's see if I can try to retrain it. No, that didn't help any. Alright, let me get to the phone. Do it. Oh, well. That is weird. It's, yeah, I see what you're saying about the picture, guys. Yeah. Is it the camera? Is it? I don't know. It's just, reset it. See if we can get it to retrain. It's just probably the system here. Let me just quickly reset cam twist and see if I can fix that. Oh, God. Go ahead, call you on the air. Well, I'm going to try resetting cam twist and see if this helps. I don't think it's going to help any, because what is going on, this is going to split the video parts again. Is it? Yeah, count on it. Yeah, well, I can't help that right now. Let me see if we can get the picture working right. Go ahead, caller, you're on the air. Stop hanging up the phone, guys. Okay. So, any luck here? I'm trying to find that one. Okay. No. It's not coming up. It's not coming up. Well, it's not the camera, because the camera's fine. It's not coming up. That's weird. Alright, so I'll try resetting the camera one more time. I don't know, it's not even coming up on the own software right now. So, alright, well, let me just go back to cam twist anyway, so we don't lose everybody. Okay. Okay, so I'm here, I see you. Unfortunately, my camera was a little bit screwed up. I wonder if something's going on with the FireWire port. I don't know what's going on with that, but I tried to reset this thing and it just totally made a mess of everything. So it's okay. We'll just switch the thing over here. Just get the desktop back up and the phone number back up. And hit cut. There we go. I'll just leave me out of it for right now. I will. Fame, what are you doing? Oh. That doesn't help. When you got a cat running. Go ahead, call you on the air. So that's going to be your day today. You're going to be just basically doing that to me all day long. Oh, that's real funny, you. So I don't really like it too much. No. I don't know why it does that. Alright, so let me go back to the chat here. Okay. Listen, most of Macedonia was Bulgarian before we are like 4 times their size anyway. Let it ring a second time. Make sure it's connecting through. Nope, it's not. I don't know what the story with that is. But anyway. I reset the router and stuff. I'll check it when I get a chance. I think this Mac is gonna just demonstrates one of the reasons I get frustrated with this machine is it does stupid things and dies in stupid time, and everybody gets into a bit of a problem. Let it ring one more time. It's basically just squeezed in the video. Literally getting squeezed into the video. It's just a tiny little. Well, I'm gonna try resetting campus and see if this helps. Hello. You guys realize there's nothing wrong with the phone. Let me test it. Alright. Now, I can hear myself just fine. And it's fine because I can talk to myself too, so that works good. No problem there. Works fine. Works fine. Alright, so, in other words, somebody's hanging up the damn phone. Yeah. Somebody's hanging up the phone when they get on the phone, and it's confusing me a lot. You know, if you wonder why you have to reload, it'll make sense. I'll explain it. What's happened is I had to reset the phone system, and so when I did that, no, I'm not on Comcast. I'm on Frontier. Go ahead, call you on the air. Let it ring a few times. No, the person using this thing on the phone. So I say that. Somebody keeps hanging up after it rings twice. And it's not our phone switch. Hello. Same thing. So, alright, well, Mount Podesi. Well, try calling when you... Oh, that's irritating. Well, whatever is going on is not working. No, it's obvious. Okay, it's because they're getting bored. That's why they're starting to do this kind of stuff. No, Now, somebody hung up that time. Yep. Go. When you get in a better area and the signal stays stable, let me know. Right now, it's just getting kind of irritating. I'll join you on Discord, Michelle. Okay, Discord's open right now. Let me turn the volume up so you can hear you in Discord. There you go. I had to turn down. I do too, Ginger. Things. Hello. How you doing, Jen? Hello. Oh, this is getting irritating. Alright, enough of the phone. I'm not going to sit there and deal with this over and all day long. This is ridiculous. And of course, Cat, you're kind of not helping anything. Ugh. From Star. Alright. Alright, so yeah, but it's irritating because I'm trying to answer the phone and the call's not being completed, so I don't know what's going on with that. Go ahead, try again.
Michelle, I'm on the side of a mountain. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear you. What are you wearing?
Let me turn this up a bit and see if this helps here. How's that?
I can hear you now, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm on the side of Mount Potosi, just south of Las Vegas, Nevada, mile marker 57 on the way to Pahrump.
What?
I'm at Mount Potosi, south of Las Vegas, at mile marker 57 on the way to Pahrump. I'm out in the hills. I just made breakfast on the black crock pot.
Okay, well, you finally got through anyway.
I got through. Wait, I can't. Wait, Michelle, before the signal falls, what are you wearing? Over.
Well, your signal sounds okay. I'm just trying to get the sound as best I can.
Michelle, I can't. What are you wearing? The signal's bad here, Michelle. Can you hear me?
What kind of cologne am I wearing?
Michelle, I'll be right back. Hold on, Mr.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's... Go ahead. Okay, guys, seriously, I'm going to say this nicely. If you have problems trying to contact me, you can always use Discord to do that, too. Jen, if you want to talk, you can. I'm talking about, he's on Discord right now. He's not muted by me, anyway. Nope, he's not muted by Michelle. Nope, he's not muted by me. He's got his own microphone muted. So, he's there, though. I can see him. He's just, he's got his microphone muted. I can't unmute him because I didn't mute him. So, do you want to check to see if the settings are... Go ahead, calling on the air. Irritating. That's okay. You can try when you get closer to town. a tribe called cookies666.com. Just try when you get closer to town. Go ahead, call you on the air. Hello. Just try when you get to town. Oh, for God's sakes. Hello. Just try when you get to town. Go ahead. No. Okay. Yeah, it's 4:16 already. I have... Hello? I'm not trying to embarrass anybody right now. A tribe called 66.com is trying to call in from a fringe spot and he's not getting through right now. Go. Hello? So, unfortunately, that's the problem. I'm going to ring one more time. Hello?
Hello, this is Michele.
This is Paul, right?
Yeah, totally. What's up? This is Paul.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry that you couldn't get through. I would send a complaint to your mobile provider and ask him to check the system, make sure everything's working okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm just climbing mountains or something.
I can kind of hear you, but you sound a little bit weird.
I said I'm climbing up the side of the mountain.
Excuse me, what?
I said I'm climbing up at the side of the mountain.
I'm not settling bad on anybody.
What's up? What did you say to me?
I was just trying to figure out what's going on with your phone system, because, like, that is so irritating. But, is that Barney? I don't know who Barney is. He says, otherwise says he's climbing a mountain. It's Barney from The Simpsons. Oh, Barney from The Simpsons. Oh, okay.
Ain't that little son of a bitch be a piece on the line? Is he in the chat room?
Yeah. Well, right now it sounds like your signal is like you got a pretty low bit rate right now. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm out here climbing up the side of a mountain.
Yeah, I know. I see you're trying to go from the side of a mountain. Trying to figure the sound and make it just a little bit better for me. Give me a 10 count.
10 count?
Alright, I got the treble, it's turned to high, mid-range all the way up, bass, turn the bass down. See if that
I think got all this fucking random key on here right now.
That's better. Now we're getting somewhere.
And my face is all covered. I got this fucking weird shit I'm all bundled up. I'm all bundled up from the snow.
Okay. You got the right knob, Michelle? I think you got the wrong knobs. I think I got the right knobs. Okay.
What's that?
Oh, I was just trying
Hold on, I think I see something out in the distance. It's like a big, heavy humanoid. About 7, 8 feet tall.
Okay.
Holy shit. Hold on, Michelle. I think I see a goddamn Sasquatch.
And?
Oh my God, it is a Sasquatch. It's a whole damn family with the Sasquatches.
Okay.
I see him out there walking through the snow.
So anyway, let me see if I got this straight to make sure I'm on the same page. You're climbing a mountain outside of Nevada.
Yeah, that's right. And right now, I'm laying eyes on these big gun certificates just walking around. Walking around like they're the true kings of this mountain.
Well, anyway, so who's your cell phone provider anyway?
I'm using like a satellite phone. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I'm on the side of a mountain.
So a tribe called 666.com says, Juice, are you modding and training chat on this fine Saturday morning?
I think I see goddamn Sasquatch. You hear me?
Hang up on that guy so I can call in. I'm standing on the side of the goddamn cliff with better signal. Okay,
I'm standing on the side of a goddamn cliff. Right now I'm staring at a whole family of Sasquatch.
Well, I got another guy that's been trying to call in and hasn't been able to get through yet. That's not on the phone. Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway.
I'm looking at him right now.
Okay. Anyway, I gotta let you go because I have another person that's trying to call in. All right. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. Bye. All right. Okay. Paul can try calling in right now if he wants. Yeah, I get all confused too. Oh. Well, Paul, I think you might as well get a little bit closer, find another spot. You're not getting through right now. Oh. Hello? Oh, man. We have to go through this every day. I want to ring multiple times just to be certain. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Well, hello? Just know anybody on the other side. I know that. Oh well. Alright, so whoever's on the other side wasn't anybody I knew. Oh, dear God. Alright, let it ring twice more. No, we should switch this authenticated to call. Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, how you doing? Who's this?
Yeah, is the phone quality any better?
Yeah, how you doing?
Listen, I'm climbing the side of this fucking mountain face. I'm all covered in snow, and you'll never believe what I see in front of me. That's what I saw.
Okay, you finally
I
watched it?
saw a whole fucking family of Sasquatch. They're out there trekking through the snow, breaking off sticks, just taking a shit where they want to. Like the real kings of the mountain.
Excuse... What?
Do you believe in the Gigantopithecus?
Comedy routine? Always online and RL man and... Oh, okay. That's what she said. Okay, so what's up?
Hold on, they're doing something. I'm watching them. Oh my God. You wouldn't believe this, Michele. I wouldn't believe it either if I didn't just witness it with my own eyeballs.
Can anybody translate what he's saying? He said he sees Bigfoot, Michele. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the fucking Sasquatch.
I got a better. Let me talk to the other guy there. A tribe called cookie6666.com. I would try using Discord instead because I think it might be easier for you to connect through Discord because it's not connecting through for you.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I can't just connect on the goddamn Discord.
I just posted the link on my
It's a
screen.
blizzard out here. Besides the snow, you got goddamn Bigfoot out there fucking in the middle of the field. Shitting where it wants to.
I kind of got a switchboard, but in a sense, the problem is I only have 2 actual landlines and only one that's actually connected to the system.
I heard that.
So, if I can get enough people to subscribe, I can get more of this equipment so we could easily do 3 or 4 more phone lines, but that's going to cost more each month.
Yeah, you gonna hang up on me again?
Ugh. Yeah, that's going to be more complicated. And way more complicated. Oh, yeah, like I don't have enough buttons to press as it is. Alright. So, what's your first name? Well, who am I talking to, actually? Am I talking to Paul or somebody else?
Yeah, this is Paul.
Okay.
Paul, George, John, and Ringo.
Excuse me?
I said, this is Paul.
I got that part.
It's Paul. I'm climbing the side of a mountain right now, talking to you through the sunlight phone.
Okay.
Look, I gotta go. I gotta use my phone to try to snap a picture of this fucking Sasquatch before he gets off into the woods.
Do you like the show? Do you enjoy the show?
Yeah, I like that big old brown on the camera who looks like a Bigfoot.
I know we're having some hard times with the hardware right now. That's why the camera's offline right now. But I'm gonna see if I can try to reset that without knocking people offline. I don't know if we can get this working or not, guys. I'm gonna try, but okay. Do you I'm looking
Oh
at
my God, you wouldn't believe what they're doing now, Michelle. I wouldn't believe it either if I didn't just witness it with my own eyes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Listen to me, the fucking Bigfoot.
So
On
anyway,
their nest.
did you ever try connecting to Discord?
I already told you, I'm out in the middle of the damn wilderness.
Alright, okay. I got other people that gotta call in. I only have one line, so I don't mean to be rude, but I'm gonna thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna thank you for calling anyway, okay?
I don't know how you treat your guests on this show, but if I would have called somebody like Joe Rogan, he'd want to hear all about the fucking Sasquatch. Fucking bitch.
Oh, well, that's real nice of you. Alright, try again, guys. Oh. Hello, you're on the air. Damn it. Now. I usually just say with cookies. Cookies without milk suck. Go ahead, call me. That's a waste of my time. This is ridiculous. I did hang up, but the other person's obviously not calling in. I'm going to let it ring one more time and see if we can finally clears the switch. Okay. You're on the air, go ahead.
Jesus Christ, Michelle, that's not on phone. Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can kind of hear you. What's up?
The Pahrump Hill called Mount Potosi in Las Vegas, South Las Vegas. That's where I'm broadcasting on my phone from, but I had to move to the other side of the mountain, and now I can barely hear you. Can you hear me?
Well, I can see if I can help make that a little bit better.
Listen,
Well, I got somebody now.
I'm on the.
All right,
What?
there's a person on the chat, which is Ginger Marie. How you doing, Ginger Marie?
Michelle.
I have never
Okay,
seen
hold
a
on a minute.
Sasquatch. I don't know who that person
Fame, I gotta adjust the volume game
if
on
I'm
all
on
these controls
Yo,
here. All right, can you? So,
Michelle,
yep,
Michelle,
yeah.
I'm out here by Mount Potosi. Beautiful. It's on the way to hump over the Pahrump on the Mount Potosi side of the hill, facing west, looking towards beautiful Southern California. Can you hear me? Over.
Can you explain what you said to me? Because I don't even understand what you said.
I can't go to Discord
He's
right
an
now.
idiot,
You
Michelle.
said something about Discord. I can't go to Discord. I'm on the side of a hill, and I'm looking at California side of the mountains. Mount Potosi,
All right. I
mile
got that
marker
part.
57.
I already got that caller. Yeah, okay. You're on the side of the mountain. You cannot go on the Discord at this moment.
It's not snowing out here, though. Let me reiterate. It is not snowing out here. Over.
Okay, well, right now, do you want to... Okay, we've been keeping everybody patched through
Michelle,
this.
before I called you, and I couldn't ask you the question all the way, what are you wearing? Before the signal cuts, tell me what you're wearing. Over.
What kind of clothes am I wearing?
Ginger. Can I say hello to Ginger Marie? I want to try to move her to the United States. She doesn't like her husband. She's not happy with him. She doesn't want to work. It's not going to work out. I'm going to try and bring her to the United States. Can you relay that message to Ginger? Over.
She's right there on the phone with you.
Oh, okay, good. So Ginger hears me. I'm going to move
Why
her to
don't
the
you say
United
hi
States.
to
I don't know
Ginger
who the
Marie?
guy with
She's
the
actually
Sasquatch
listening
is,
and
but that's
talking
not
to you
me.
right now
Can
through
you say hi to
Discord.
Ginger? Hey, can you hear me? What are you wearing?
Jen, say hi.
Zinger's in here. Can you say hi to Zinger? Zinger knows I'm on the side of a mountain. I'm up here by Pahrump. Can you hear me?
You're on the side of a mountain. Okay.
But tell me what you're wearing before my phone's gonna. I can't hear you. But can you tell what are you wearing? Oh, up, over.
Okay, what am I wearing?
What are you wearing, Michelle?
What's he asking me? What
He's
I'm
asking
wearing?
you. What are you wearing?
Okay, let Ginger Marie answer my question because she's got better hearing than me. What is he asking me?
Discord. I can't go on Discord right now.
He is asking you, what are you
Flip
wearing?
phone, Ericsson flip phone.
Okay, one at a time, guys. Okay, go ahead, Ginger. Go ahead.
What the feck are you wearing, Michelle?
Right now, I'm wearing a T-shirt.
Oh, are you?
And I'm wearing my headphones.
Dogs are barking. Michelle, my signal's cutting out. I'm going to call you right back. Hold on.
See you next year, Paul.
All right. Okay. You know, one of the things that makes it hard is that when you have multiple people on, is like, it's almost like, how do you kind of coordinate them so you don't trip over each other's feet?
Mm-hmm.
There was a function that enables something called push to talk, which I don't have set up right now. But I don't really know how I would use it anyway.
Is BAP still in the chat? He blocked me.
What is it, the space bar or something? Well, you can press the space bar for push to talk?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Never used it.
Bye, Paul.
Fame, what in the bloody hell are you doing? No. Oh, wait a minute, stepping all over my buttons. Come on. Ugh. I need a cat to knock on my buttons.
Kill the cat, Michelle.
What's that? No, it's my cat, Rust, or Fame. He's like jumping all over my control panels, and it's making some difficult things with the phone setup. I forgot to put the phone back on the hook. Oops. Okay. So let me make some common sense answer, guys. Seriously, if you see that your signal strength to your phone is like nothing, you know, and you're going to put yourself in danger to come on a show, I would say it's not important enough. I'd rather see you be safe and potentially just to say hello, especially if you're putting yourself in a physically dangerous situation. Just wait until you can get to a good signal spot that you feel comfortable calling from before you call me. Because I don't want to see someone fall off an edge of a cliff just to say hello. It wouldn't exactly be cool. I'm wearing orange pajama pants with...
Oh, Michelle.
Excuse me? I'm just reading
There's
this...
someone ringing.
No, it's not ringing right now, but it's on. Unless the cat knocked it off the hook again. Oh, yeah. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm not getting no sound at all. Is it plugged in? Is it plugged in? Stupid cat.
What the fuck?
I think my cat.
Oh shit.
I think my cat knocked something offline here. I don't know where it's not working. Is this? Oh, is this on? Yeah, it's on. Oh, I see it. I got
Caller is
it.
trying to call in.
Okay, now I got it. It was my cat pressed some buttons. Anyway, it said, the person says to me, I'm trying to get caught up here. That was one caller said he saw a Sasquatch. Yes, I know. Oh, God. You want to take this one? Since you want to take this call, go ahead.
Answer it.
Go ahead, call it.
Gone.
Let's dial tone. Oh, crap. Alright, gotta let it ring like 3 times to make sure it gets through the switch. Mr. Pussy, one thing, please stop potentially pushing my buttons on the switchboard, okay? It's hard enough to figure out what's going on before things get messed up. One more time. Ugh. Same guy, she's trying to call and the service is too crappy to connect. No kidding. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's not that I'm trying to ignore him or bump him off or anything. He's gonna look. Oh God, we're ring 2 more times. Didn't even. Okay, 1.
Not really out in the wire. He's a dickhead.
2. Okay. So who else is on here? Besides Jen. Oh, you're on the air.
Michele, is my service any better right now?
Okay.
Is that a no?
Alright, I'm gonna let Ginger Marie act as the speaker because it'll be easier for me.
Who's Ginger Marie? That's my future wife.
Yeah, she's on. Can you hear him, Ginger?
Michele, can you hear me? I'm walking through these pine trees up here right now.
Okay.
This fucking sap from these pine trees.
Alright, so, Jen, say hello.
His service is really bad. Hey, Paul.
Yeah, he's having problems with his phone. Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah. Out in the wire, did you see the Russian guy's video of him wrestling the bears when he was a small boy? McGregor's dead tonight.
I haven't seen any videos yet. I'm still working on it. So, where are you now, Paul? Hello? For some reason, he seemed to have broken connection again. Alright, so anyway, and of course, Ginger Marie is running off. Lixor mask is still on. Oh, for God's sakes, just stop. Let's let it ring 3 times, Loom. It's not even making a successful call at all. Go ahead, call you in the air. Alright, guys, that's enough of the phone BS, please. Okay, because obviously it's not working right. So, since my camera right now is temporarily offline, I'm not sure why. I will have to check and reset it later on. It is 4:30. Okay. Go ahead, calling on the air.
Michele, I'm walking down the hill right now. Bear with me. I'm walking. Don't hang up.
All right. Alright, so what I want to do is let me go ahead and switch this show. There's nothing to switch over to. Because the camera's offline right now. I know that. This is ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Hey, Michelle, am I getting through?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm walking down the side of the mountain right now.
I'm gonna get ready to end the show because it's way past 2 hours.
Hold on, I see something out of the distance.
Excuse.
Oh, God, it's a fucking Sasquatch.
You don't have to scream. It's not gonna help me hear you any better.
It's a goddamn Sasquatch.
I know you said you saw a Sasquatch. I figured that already. I heard that. And I said that
right now with the whole troop of them, Michelle.
Okay.
There's a whole fucking family of Sasquatch.
I don't know. Right now, guys, he's the guy that's been calling, that's been having the worst luck getting through, and I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, it's me, Paul.
Well, anyway, so you're in the middle. Well, you're in the middle of a place that has hardly any signal at all.
Yeah, this is a Tribe Called Cookies. 6.com.
What?
This is the Tribe Called Cookies.
Yeah, he says he wanted a wrench in your FAG chat too, Juicy.
What's that?
Cupcake Singer says that's not
John,
Paul.
George, Paul, and Ringo.
I don't know, guys. This is getting ridiculous. Right now is that you sound like you're a little bit distorted in the sound right now. No matter what I do, I can't really get it perfectly right.
Because I'm out in the middle of the wilderness. God damn it. I told you I'm climbing a mountain.
Oh, man. Can you fix this on me? I already got the trouble all the way up. I know that. I have Cricket Wireless, Michelle. The service sucks up here in the hills. Time to get a better...
Yeah, that's right. I've got Cricket.
Time to get a better provider.
Yeah, no. I'm out here in the middle of the fucking wilderness. I ain't got no coverage.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got a ton of viewers. I have not checked to see how many viewers I actually got right now. 12
I
of
know.
them.
They're all interested to see what's happening with the Sasquatch. My God, I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now.
Okay, you mentioned you saw one. When, where, and how?
They're right in front of me right now, Michelle. I see them. A whole family of them. It's about 4 or 5 goddamn Gigantopithecus.
What?
I'm talking about the skunky.
Uh-huh.
An abominable snowman.
Okay. So...
They're out here in the snow, just walking around, shitting wherever they want to.
Okay. Again, I will personally send you outside. Come on, get off my keyboard. Oh, cats are jumping all over the place. Is that Mr. Positive Brad here? Hang on, let me go consult the voter records. Remember it. What? I'm not gonna hang up on him. I don't even really.
No, I didn't mean to send that message. This is the Tribe Called Cookies. I was trying to send that to somebody else. I was trying to text my gay lover.
All right.
I was trying to send that message to my gay lover. I'm more important than any little Twinkie that you meet in the bar.
How long have I been streaming? Today, since 2 o'clock this afternoon, Mr. Laugh. Yeah, I don't know where you were, but yes, in parts of the Midwest, it actually is snowing in the Rocky Mountain area.
This is a Tribe Called Cookies. Can you hear me?
Okay, I got that cupcake singer there. It's not cookies. I got that part.
No, it is.
Please help me pray for Brad. Things are about to get really bad for him. Total lockdown.
Listen, if anybody else calls and they're claiming to be Paul, they're a damn liar.
All right. Now.
I'm trying to write to my gay lover while I'm climbing this mountain, but I'm just fucking I'm dumbstruck at this Sasquatch right in front of me. A whole tribe of big feet.
Okay, let me just say this quick. Well, let me just say something real quick here for my audience that's watching this, because I know they're going to get my comments a little bit after they posted them. I don't really know who's on the phone. I don't really think it matters who's on the phone. It's the fact that there's a person on the phone, and he's trying to tell me about he found Bigfoot. And I got that part.
No, this is Paul. A tribe called Cookie6.com. It's me, Michele.
Okay. And here's the question. What's the weather like there?
Oh, it's a damn blizzard. I'm up here on the side of a mountain, and these Sasquatches just walking around, sitting where they want to.
Okay. Is it?
I think it's some kind of orgy or something going on.
Is it
in the field? They're all just going at it.
All right. How big is the Sasquatch person you see? How big is he?
It's about 7 to 8 feet tall.
Okay.
All covered in hair.
And he's walking. Is he walking on 2 or 4 legs?
Oh, he's walking upright like a man on 2 legs.
Okay.
All of them, even a little baby one.
So we are certain right now that he is a bipedal creature walking on 2 legs. How hairy is he?
Oh, I shit you not. He's hairier than a knife. He's hairier than my mama.
All right, I'm not going to hang up at anybody, guys. Right now we're trying to have a conversation that's not going to... At least we're starting to talk, which is better than nothing. Hang up on people. It's not exactly going to help make it easier for me to talk to people.
I know, that's what I'm saying, too. Goddamn rude trying to claim that I'm not a tribe named Cookies when I clearly am. It's like... Some of these people don't even know me. I'm out here climbing the side of a mountain, trying to call you on my cricket phone.
All right. So where are you right now? You say you're in the mountain area?
Oh, I'm walking down the hill right now. I'm trying to get away from there. I think all these goddamn workies are having an orgy.
Okay. And is it snowing
I've heard
there?
stories, Michele. If I don't get out of here, I might be next.
Is it snowing or raining there?
There's snow on the floor, but it's sunny out. I got the sun in my eyes right now.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be snow in some areas. Ask the guy on the phone how big the Sasquatch penis is. I don't know if he knows how big it is. We don't even know if it's a male Sasquatch or could be a female.
No, I got the answers right here, Michele. They're having an orgy.
All right, so do you think it's a male one or a female one?
It's a whole family of them.
Okay.
There's a woman one, and there's like a daddy one, a little baby one. They're all just going at it.
Well, one question I have is, are there female Sasquatch? Yes, there would be. There has to be.
Yep, she's got big hairy titties. I'm looking at them right now.
Actually, no, it's not funny at all, Zinger. It could be snowing in Sierra Nevadas. You keep forgetting that they're higher up in elevation than, say, Las Vegas or even like Tahoe is.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Once you get up in them mountains, they're all covered in snow.
Yeah,
and that's where the Sasquatch dwells.
What's that about tomorrow on the Sasquatch?
She's up there, Michele, in the mountains.
Well, maybe it's a male with his female consort and their baby Sasquatch. That doesn't sound too unreasonable. The family unit.
There's a whole family of them out here, just walking around, shitting where they want to.
Okay, I understand that I understand the cupcake singer, but the person on the phone, I don't know who it is. I'm just asking questions. He's giving me answers to questions. Okay.
Oh, hi, cupcake singer. He knows me and Paul.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
This is totally Paul. Anyway, Michelle, have you ever seen that movie Ant-Man?
So, let me ask you this question. What are you doing in the mountains anyway?
I'm just climbing up the side of them. How I do?
Oh, you were just hiking, and so... Okay, and then you saw the family of Sasquatch.
Yeah, I was smoking a big old doobie, but I don't think it's related to seeing the Sasquatch. It's like I'm high all the time and I don't see Sasquatch.
Okay. All right. So anyway, so when are you
seen that movie Ant-Man?
So when are you gonna be going back into town? When are you gonna be near a
I'm heading down the hill right now. I'm watching your stream. All these people, Cupcake Zinger. You know me, man. Cupcake Zinger. He's my nigga. I don't know why he's saying it's not me.
Okay, Cupcake Zinger, I don't know if this is that same Paul, but seriously, I don't know if this guy can answer that question in the first place.
Wait, Cupcake Zinger, I know all about you and your gay lover.
Okay, what? Michelle, can you ask, quote,
I'm talking to Cupcake Zinger now.
Okay. Was the Sasquatch's name Francis? It says that weirdo sends that. Was the Sasquatch's name Francis?
Oh, I didn't have time to ask him for his name. I didn't have time to make acquaintance with his family. We're all getting busy.
How would the caller know if a Sasquatch's name is Francis? Did he go? You expect him to go ask her ID?
He looked like a Francis. You should have seen the hair on him. It was all long and beautiful.
I don't know. This is just crazy. And so anyway, the point is that I know we already said it's not Paul. A tribe called Cookie666.com said, I know it's not Paul. I don't know who it is. I just know it's that somebody called. And then out of the wire says,
Cookies, God damn it. I told you.
And then out of the wire says, I once saw Bigfoot getting a blowjob from a squirrel. Weird Doe says, Michelle has talked to Paul before, even prayed for best friend Jimlin. Yes, I remember that. Cupcake Singer says, Yo, Ling Ling,
hey, why don't you give a shout out to Ling Ling Bow. Clearly people I know.
Okay. Alright, anyway, listen, I appreciate you calling in, but I really seriously do gotta admit, it's time to get ready to wrap it up because it's already...
What? You gonna hang up on me again? For the third goddamn time. It's like, why do I even bother trying to call in? I was such a big fan of yours, but now I don't even know.
Okay.
I don't even know what to do with myself now.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, Delbert Grady.
No, it's too late. I'm going out to the old shed, gonna hang myself.
Okay.
You got my blood on your hands now, Michelle. I hope you're happy. You got my blood all over your big manish hands.
8 of them is Skeebert. Who is Skeebert?
All right, bye, Michelle. I'll see you in hell.
Right now, I'm watching. I'm just getting kind of confused because, like,
Lumi's here too. In hell, do you want to send him a message?
Okay, well, like I said, I was just getting a little confused because I got people saying so many things in chat, and then you're saying something, and I'm trying to read both you and them at the same time. Welcome to the world of the empath INFJ who gets totally screwed up doing the most simple things.
All right, Michele, I'm tying the noose right now. Just tying it around, loop after loop.
It's not that I can't handle fame out on the wire. Please don't get me started with fame. Fame has nothing to do with it. And that implies both the status and the cat. Except I wish the cat would stop walking all over my mixer panel. Michele, why don't you go by the name Chris anymore? It's totally...
All right, Michele, I got the noose around my neck.
Okay. What do you mean by doodles? Well, obviously he has toes. He's got claws too. Real sharp ones. I'm not getting upset. I'm trying to read all the comments at the same time and getting a little bit overwhelmed because everybody keeps telling me this is not... Oh, for God's sakes. Oh, echo in here.
Hello?
Yeah, who's this?
Is this Michele?
Yeah, this is me.
Michele, I'm calling about Paul. He's a good kid. He's a little misunderstood, but he's a good kid, and he takes me shopping every Saturday at Smith's. We buy things to eat. He stood there once with me for 45 minutes, darling, while I looked at cans of creamed corn. There's so many kinds of creamed corn. There's sweetened and there's unsweetened. There's boiled in the can creamed corn. And we sat there. He's a good kid. Don't give him a hard time. He's a great kid, Michele.
Yeah, honestly, guys, I think some people seriously are taking advantage of the fact that I can't always hear them too good. I don't know if it's necessarily just your ears. I think this phone switch is because of the compression of the phone system. Oh, God. Let it one more time. Go ahead, call you on the air. I don't think big feet or Sasquatches are actually carnivores so much. I think they're mostly herbivores. Okay, be sure. Look at their teeth. Michele, their teeth are bigger than yours. I know that. But they're different kind of teeth for gnashing and grinding. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Michele, I have to say one thing and one thing here for you, okay, baby? Michele.
Right here.
The juice. Have you heard of the juice? The juice is the finest baker at the bottom of YouTube. Let me tell you a little story about the juice. 3 years ago, the summer of 2015, we're in a tranny chat. Rosie O'Kelly, Midnight Bikini Bacon, and the Magical Bikini Penis. Yellow Bunk Cake.
Okay.
My buddies are there. We're there. Juice is there. Juice, the following day, made a rebuttal video, and guess what he was baking? Can you guess?
All right.
No, I'm asking you to guess what he was baking.
I'm just reading the comments here. It says poor Paul Bigfield probably eat him. No, probably not. Michele's doing a lot of complaining to new viewers. No, I'm
Wait,
not.
are you reading the comments? Don't read the comments. Guess what Juice made a video of the following day. Guess what he was baking?
Who is Juice exactly? Who is he?
I'm on the side of Mount Potosi. I got a good signal though. I'm right by the fire station at the top of Mount Potosi.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can kind of hear you. Just trying to just.
Okay, so listen. Guess what he baked the following day? Guess. He baked. I want to tell you. You don't have to guess. He baked a meat pie. It was a homemade beef pot pie. He went and got some Pillsbury dough right out of the can.
Oh.
He unraveled it. He made a nice, cute little meat pie. It was like a Stouffer's little pot pie. And you know what he did with his delicate little hands? He's got these delicate little hands that are so soft and supple, like a brand new garden hose. You can tell he's never done a real hard day's work in it. But listen, that's beside the point. He got the cutest children's safety knife made of plastic. And you know what he did, Michelle? Listen, I'm going to tell you what he did. He went to the top of that meat pie that he made homemade, and he cut little individual slices and snipped at the top to make it bent and put in the oven. And guess what else he baked in the oven, Michelle? And you know? Guess. He baked bacon. He baked bacon in the oven. But I will tell you this, Michelle. Juice is the finest little baker at the bottom of YouTube. He wears these cut-off Michael Jackson gloves with no fingers at the end. He loves Bluebell ice cream. He's a great guy. He's part of the bottom of YouTube. He has been, and he's been, listen, Michelle, he's been smitten for me for over 3 years. Oh. He's got little wallet-sized cutouts of me, and he's a good guy. But listen, nobody bakes like the Jews, that's right. But listen, what he did, I'll show you the video. He made the finest meat pie ever with little individual slits cut in the top for venting. He's the finest baker that the bottom of YouTube has. So when he comes on the side of your set, don't kick him out. He's a good guy. Michelle, can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. I was listening.
Okay, what are you wearing? You never told me what you're wearing.
You're talking about he baked the pie in the oven. That's I got that part of it.
No. What are you wearing?
What am I wearing? I'm wearing a T-shirt. A black T-shirt and a skirt and a pair of headphones right now.
You're not wearing any panties?
I'm wearing underwear and socks and sneakers.
Are they Hanes her way?
Am I what?
Are they Hanes her way?
Underwears?
Yeah.
Well, you said Hanes her way. I thought you were talking about underwear. Yeah, I'm wearing panties, obviously.
Oh yeah, you did want a pizza, huh? Do you want me to send you a pizza today?
Remember all those panties you saw one time on the clothesline outside drying when I was on the porch? Yeah, it's one little pair of underwears. Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. The Juice is the finest baker at the bottom of YouTube. He's a brilliant guy. You know what? Are you familiar with firearms? He's the one that told me about the virtues of high-point pistols. Made in Florida with a lifetime American guarantee. You can get a brand new 45 ACP for $139 with a Groupon, Michelle. I don't know if you're into the Second Amendment, but you should be. And if you are and you're in the market for a nice, cheap firearm with a quality lifetime warranty, look up High-Point Firearms. Tell them Juice sent you, and you'll get a 5% discount and free shipping to your local authorized FFL dealer.
I don't even have a gun permit, and I'm not interested in getting one. That's my personal choice.
Listen, Michelle, hold that thought. I'll be right back. My signal's fading out here. Hold on. Michelle, you there?
I'm right here.
Michelle.
Yes, I'm... Oh, for God's sakes, guys, this is getting here. Okay, I got the video working. Yay. The only problem is the video is still got a lot of noise, though. Yeah, it's got a lot of noise. Bad interface. Bad picture. Yeah. So, but we got video. Just so we can get this thing working here. Oh, that really made it better. It's got a loose connection, I think. Yeah, it's trying to render video. Can you fix that? Yeah, I can fix that. Let me just try to see if we fix this thing, guys. Quit Studio TVR. We'll try resetting this again. Okay. I think I had a bad connection. Okay, it's better. Yay. Okay, so now you can see me, guys, through the system here. I'd have to reset Cam Twist to totally fix it. But it's getting late anyway. I have to admit, we're saying something about the phone system. I think what's going on with the phone system is there's a little bit of too much filtering through the phone interface, through the Clear One calling interface. I think it's doing too much clearing out of calls and too much equalization. And now, except for default, it's not modified or anything. So what it means is that it's just kind of messed up right now. So we got that working. So right now Michele looks like she has a loose connection. Yeah, I got a couple loose connections. So, sorry about the screwed up video. May actually be because the way CamTwist works, that CamTwist might be doing some bad translation. Partially because this computer is having a hard time rendering video. So, it's getting late anyway. You're gonna go ahead and just get ready to switch out for now. I can't really switch out. What I can do is, since obviously, let's see, you can get this camera to show up with that camera working. Nope, you can't. No, you can't. But I can get rid of the phone number for now because it's time to get ready to wrap it up anyway. So let's do that. So let's go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. And you dirty nutcracker. I got it. Okay, so guys, right now I want to say thank you for watching this. Sorry about the hardware problems. This is the native software that this camera works with, and you can see it works better now. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of latency. You're going to see me, let's say normally, you'll see my lips move, and then you'll have the voice a little bit later on. It's been a long show. We got a lot of good content. The phone call thing, I need to work on the phone call thing. I really do, because it makes it really hard to get the phone working. And let me take a look and see if there's anything new. Nothing going on. Fingerless baking gloves, that's a sign of a real problem. Okay, so for now, let me just get ready to wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for being on. Don't forget, we have tonight we have the other show coming up. So, just put a desktop so at least people can see you. Alright, let's put a desktop so you at least know I'm still here. For everybody who has been on the show today, I thank you for being on the show. I apologize that we had some technical mites with different phones and things like that. The Cringe Report will be on Cringe Report tonight instead of on R11 East 30's channel. And so that's where you'll see that. I'll start at 9 o'clock. And don't forget, Sunday live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, like usual. And that's midnight Irish and UK time, which kind of sucks for you guys. Sorry about that. We will be on 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Friday of this week coming up, and Saturday of this week coming up. And I do appreciate everybody who's come to the show. I appreciate you watching the show. And I am still going to hopefully get my money for the computer in the beginning of November. And then we can go ahead and get the new computer, and then we should have a lot less problems with better hardware. So that's what my next project is. But for now, I want to thank you guys for watching. See you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye, guys.